Good morning, friends. I am getting ready to start getting ready for work. So I just bought this Revlon Nearly Naked foundation a couple days ago, and this is in the color 130 Shell. And I figured, why not take the opportunity today to do a first impression / review, just to kind of see how it holds up throughout the day. I do have an extremely long day. Right now it is 4:15 in the morning. I've already been up for an hour just drinking coffee and stuff. I'm a medic in the Army, if I haven't said that in my previous video. So starting at 5:30 in the morning, I am seeing my first patient. Clear up until 4:30. Sometimes later than that, depending. And, after that, I've got PT. So, I'm going to put this sucker to the test. I'm not going to use a primer because I want to see how it lasts on its own. I'm not going to use a brush just because I kind of want to see the consistency, how it applies, with my bare hands, kind of to warm it into my skin. I have already moisturized. This morning I used like a little sample moisturizer from Lancome, which is pretty nice. Now as far as this foundation, I think it just comes in the one, the one formula. I don't think it's got different formulas for like dry skin / oily skin, anything like that. It was $7.99 at my local Walmart, and I'm here in Colorado Springs, so I know that kind of varied depending on where you live, but that's going to be an average price range. So let's see. I've watched a lot of reviews on this, and people are comparing it to the Urban Decay Naked foundation. I'm just going to go ahead and start putting it on. So if so, that would be awesome, because that is one of the foundations that I really enjoy. Gosh, I say I'm a lot, and I don't think it's just because I'm half asleep. Anyways, it's one of the foundations I really enjoy, especially during the work week, because everything I do has to look natural, but I can't stand the thought of going to work without makeup. So anything that I can pull off that is going to look natural, I'm down for. And on camera this is pulling up kind of yellow, but in real life it's not. I don't know if you can tell. It's definitely a liquidy consistency, but it's not, runny. Like some foundations you put and it just runs. This is not one of those. Because it's definitely pulling yellow on camera, but not in person. So it does feel very nice. It does feel very similar to the Urban Decay Naked. It's very light. It really feels as if I'm not putting on foundation. You can see my skin is actually in pretty good shape, but it definitely just that one light coat did a pretty good job of evening out my redness, covering. I've got a little bit of like a hormonal breakout right here on my chin, but it did a pretty good job of covering that. My dark circles under my eyes it didn't do bad with. Still gonna need a little concealer for that, I'm sure, but it's really not bad, especially for, this is definitely, a light foundation. Let's see, I'm pretty sure I can build it up to a medium coverage. Just want to see how it does, without becoming cakey. So I'm not gonna do my whole face, just kind of my areas where I need a little extra because of that redness. I suffer from the worst dark circles. And it could be because I get up at 3 a.m. or it could just be genetics. Sadly, that is something my family seems to have blessed me with. So I'm going to work with it. Okay, I'm trying to adjust this light a little bit. I'm still trying to figure it all out. It's so bright, but okay, I think you can see. Looks very natural. It did not kick up even upon this second layer application. It does feel slightly tacky. Like maybe this is going to be one of those foundations that needs just a minute to set because of the thinner consistency. So we shall see. I do not have my iPhone because I forgot it upstairs, and I do not want to wake my husband up quite yet. But it is 4:25 a.m. I am going to finish getting ready and I'll check back. I know at my breakfast and my lunch, and then hopefully if it's not too late at the end of the day, I'll do another check back and we'll kind of see how it's holding up, if it's breaking down. Even though I do have dry skin, I do have a tendency to kind of get foundation like to break down in these certain areas. So I'm curious to see if this is going to hold up. And I'm not going to set up with the powder because I don't ever do that. So I'm not going to do it now. And with that being said, I'll see you guys here in just a little bit. Bye. Hello, I am doing my first check-in. It is 7:11, so it has been roughly 3 hours. So far, so good. Nothing has settled into any fine lines. No shine coming through because even though I do have dry skin, no, sometimes I deal with common T-zone issues. Nothing has gone to break down in any areas. It has not oxidized. Overall, I'm really liking this. You can see it gives a really nice natural finish. You can still see my freckles. Just looks like my skin, but better. Alright, I will see you guys back on my lunch. So in about 4 hours, which will have been about almost 8 hours of wear. So we shall see. Hello, I am back again to do another check-in. It is now 11:06, so it has been roughly 7 hours since I first applied, which honestly is probably the amount of time that most people are going to wear foundation. Most people don't normally wear foundation for longer than that. Well, maybe like 8 hours or so, but you know what I mean. This so far has held up really well. Not really any shininess at all coming through. Nothing has settled or starting to cake up. It has not really broken down except a little bit around my nose, but I have a little bit of a cold, so I have had to blow my nose a couple times today. So to all fairness to the foundation, that probably would have happened with just about anything. But other than that little area, everything has really held up well. And like, this is with no powder, no primer, nothing. Now, mind you, I don't do a strenuous job. In Garrison, as medics, we pretty much are just nurses. So, I just deal with patients, medicines, stuff like that. So if you have a job where, maybe it's a little high activity or in the heat or something, I don't know how well it would hold up for just everyday normal job, go to school, whatever. Definitely. I do have to go back and do things for about 4 more hours at the clinic, and then after that I'm going to go exercise. So I'm actually going to not wash my face before I exercise just to see how it does. So I will check back in a little bit. Bye guys. Hello, here for the final update of the day. It is now 4:43. I've had this on for 14, almost 15 hours. I have worked, I went to the gym, I have done just about anything you could possibly do, you know, in a normal day. And it has held up great. No oil breakthrough. I still have good coverage. Hasn't broke down over my blemishes. Just that tiny little bit on my nose and a tiny little bit on my chin. And that's it. So, to wrap it up, 14 hours of wear. Still great coverage. I still feel like I could go out and have my flaws, my redness is covered, my blemishes are covered. I could still go out and look human. So with that being said, for $7.99 to, you know, probably $10, just depending on where you live, you can't beat that. It's great. It's wonderful. I am super impressed. I think this might be my new Holy Grail foundation. So with that being said, this was my little review and first impressions of it. And that's it. Bye, guys.